Everyone thinks Blue Lock is ready for the U20 World Cup, but if they go in without a real system, they're gonna get exposed. This isn't just raw talent versus raw talent anymore. It's world-class tactics versus chaos. You can't just throw your strongest 11 players onto a pitch and expect to win. So in this video, I'm building the most realistic and dangerous Blue Lock lineup possible, from the goalkeepers to the strikers. And once the full XI is locked in, I'm also gonna go over the best subs for every role, because depth wins tournaments. So let's get into it. Before we get into the players and how they'll actually play, we need to talk about formations. In modern football, most systems branch off of two core shapes, the 4-4-2 and the 4-3-3. We're ruling out 3-back or 5-back setups right away because Blue Lock doesn't have natural wingbacks or enough true center backs to make those formations work. And if you want to see more info on all the players and what their true position is and why I think there's not many center backs or wingbacks, check out my previous video where I mentioned all the best roles for every single player. So the real debate is between the variations of the 4-3-3 or the 4-4-2. I went with the 4-4-2 and here's why. It gives us two striker spots, which suits Blue Lock's striker heavy roster. Plus, the wide midfield roles can also work for the strikers who are good at dribbling, essentially playing them as wingers. Starting from the back, let's talk about the goalkeeper. And honestly, this one's a no-brainer. Gagamaru is the obvious pick. He's miles ahead of Fukaku, who is only really there as a backup. Gagamaru's instincts, reflexes, and reach make him the clear #1 choice. There's no debate, he owns the spot. Next up, the center backs, and the first one's a lock, it's Aiku. He's the best defender Blue Lock has to offer. He's tactically smart, physically dominant, and already proven himself at the U20 level, and is probably even beyond that level. He'll play as a modern center back, meaning no gimmicks, just strong positioning, good distribution, and leadership at the back. Partnering with Aiku at the back is Ryu, another clear choice. There isn't really much competition for this role, and Ryu brings the height, strength, and athleticism we need alongside with Aiku. He'll also play as a traditional center back in this 4-man defense, solid, dependable, and built to hold the line. Now that the center backs are locked in, let's move on to the right back. And this pick might surprise some people. I'm going with Otia. His ideal role is as a left wing Raumdeuter, but in this system, I'm playing him as a wing back. It's not his natural position, but he can handle it. As a wing back, he'll have a license to push forward and use his speed and off-ball movements in the final third. And while he's not a defensive specialist, we've seen him make enough stops in this series to show that he won't be a liability in the back. At left back, I'm going with Chigiri. Just like Otia, his ideal role is further up the pitch, usually as a left winger or an inside forward, but in this lineup, I'm using him as a left wing back. From that position, Chigiri can still make overlapping runs, stretch the field, and uses elite pace to its full potential. Even though he's deeper on the pitch, he will still find chances to cut inside and go for the signature Panther snipe shot, especially on quick counters. And defensively, he's proven he can track back, press, and recover. He's not just serviceable as a left back, but he will thrive as a left back in the system. Now on to our central midfielders, and first up is Rayo. Rayo's a true all-rounder, and while he'd make a great box-to-box midfielder, I'm using him as a deep line playmaker in this setup. Because the 4-4-2 only has two central mids, we need one of them to hold back and protect our team from counterattacks, and Rayo can do that while still helping in build-up play. He won't push up too high or leave gaps, but he'll still play a key role in progressing the ball and setting tempo. It's the perfect balance between stability and control, which Rayo will excel at. Playing alongside Rayo in the midfield is Bachira, and this role is a little different for him. His ideal spot would be higher up on the pitch as a free roaming attacking midfielder, but in this setup, I'm using him as an advanced playmaker in the center midfield. While Bachira is not known for his elite passing, he's definitely creative enough to connect and play this spot. And more importantly, this role lets him use his dribbling weapon to break the lines and create chaos. Offensively, he'll have more responsibilities than usual, and while we haven't seen a ton of defensive actions from Bachira, we have seen defensive actions from him before, so he won't be a liability in this more defensive-like spot. Let's move on to the left midfield spot, and here I'm going with Barou. Barou's ideal role would be as an advanced forward playing as a striker, but in this formation I'm using him as an inside forward playing on the left. With his explosive power, aggressive mentality, and his signature chop dribbling style, he's dangerous for cutting inside onto a stronger right foot, especially for mid-range shots. Now, because he's playing in the midfield, he will have some defensive duties, and while it may not be his strength, we have seen him track back a few times, so he'll be able to do this job. On the right side of the midfield, I've got Rin. His best role is usually on the left-hand side as an inside forward, but in this system, I'm flipping him to the right. Rin has a decent weak foot, and it may not be perfect, but it's definitely usable. And more importantly, Rin is capable of hitting Trivela shots with his stronger right foot, letting him stay dangerous even when cutting in on the right side. That flexibility is why I'm keeping Barou on the left and shifting Rin to the right. And defensively, we already know Rin can press, intercept, and recover better than most attacking-minded players. He'll have no problem handling his defensive duties on that side. Now let's move on to the front line, starting with our first striker, Shidou. His ideal role is as a pure poacher, and that's exactly what I'm using here, with a small twist. Shidou has elite raw scoring instincts in the box, so I don't want to drag him away from that. He needs to stay close to the goal to stay dangerous, otherwise he risks becoming a liability. The only adjustment is that I want him to occasionally act as a target man and build up, helping link up with the other striker. The second striker, no surprise, is Isagi. He's not just a pure finisher here. In this system, Isagi plays as part false 9, part Ram the Tour, and even like part second striker, and will fully act as the core of the team. He'll drop deep often, almost playing like a cam to link up with bachira to create chances and break defensive lines. But also, he'll still be linking up with Shidou as well, playing as a second striker. Chemistry between Isagi and Shidou is key. Isagi can use Shidou as a decoy, play quick 1-2s, or throw passes to him for him to score, and vice versa. That kind of versatility is what makes them a dangerous duo. 2 strikers, 2 styles, but 0 conflict, just pure synergy. Alongside Isagi and Shidou, we've got elite solo threats on the wings like Barou and Rin, who can create danger without needing heavy support. This frontline has a balance of synergy and firepower. So that's my ideal Blue Lock starting 11 for the U20 World Cup, running in a fluid 4-4-2. But now let's talk about the bench, because depth matters too. First up is Kunigami. Even though he ranks in the top 11, he starts as a sub here, backing up Shidou. His strength and physicality makes him a perfect target man to come off the bench. Next is Karazu. He'll sub for Rayo as a deep line playmaker, but you can also slot him in as a fullback, but instead of playing as a wingback, he'll play as an inverted fullback, a flexible utility player. Then we've got Nico, who can cover both the center back spots and also play as a deep line midfielder or even a fullback as an inverted fullback, depending on the game state. Another sub is Hiyori. Hiyori can come in for Bachira's spot as a backup in the advanced playmaker role, but like Karazu, he can also play as the deep line midfielder or a fullback if needed. And then there's Kurina, another flexible option who can rotate in for Bachira or either a wingback, depending on how the game unfolds. And finally, rounding up the squad, the backup goalkeeper behind Gagamaru, which will be Fukaku. So that's the full lineup and the subs, built to win the U20 World Cup with real tactics, defined roles, and dangerous chemistry. No ego picks, just the best possible team Blue Lock can realistically put on the field. That comes to the end of this video, but you guys let me know down in the comments, who would you replace in this starting XI? Let me know if I left out your favorite player or anything like that in the comments. And if you want more tactical Blue Lock videos, be sure to like and subscribe, as that is the type of content I post.